I am going live on Facebook and Instagram. Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Waters, and I am happy to be part of the CNY Fertility team and CNY Healing Arts team here in Syracuse, New York. It's winter here in Syracuse. People love to complain about the weather, things that we have absolutely no control over. I think it's kind of funny. I used to be one of them. It's easy to complain about things we have no control of. I think because we don't realize what we do have control over. That's much better to complain about the things we have control over because then actually we might spark some change, right? So today I want to talk a little bit about and ask you a little bit about how do you change. I also want to talk about synthetic vitamins and how they are changing you, not for the positive, and they might actually be causing a lot of damage to you. And I didn't quite realize the extent of the damage. So, but I have learned because we are growing, we're evolving together. There's so much information now. We have more information available to us now than ever before in our history. Is that making us smarter? Is that making us happier? Is that making us more expansive and open? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it probably depends on the person, the day, what kind of information you're choosing to focus on absolutely really matters. In the fertility world, it's a very challenging journey. I'd like to just honor that, pay attention to those feelings that arise when you feel hopeless, you feel overwhelmed, you feel confused, and how important it is to stick together, support each other, keep going. But you also need to let go of those feelings, to honor them and to really learn how to let go of the negativity that could be really affecting your endocrine system, your cellular functioning, your entire body. So we say a lot about body, mind, spirit, right? So we understand what the body is, the physical. We are spiritual beings in physical form, right? Here we are. We have this vessel that we need to take care of. The mind, we use that word a lot, but do we really understand what is the mind? If you ask yourself to define that word, what is your mind? Can you actually define it? It's not the brain, it's not the thoughts. It's more than that. So it's quite a vast definition and question. And I think it's an interesting question. And then a lot of times we use the word spirit, body, mind, spirit, right? People say it all the time. But what does that actually mean for you in the fertility world? I believe personally that the spiritual world is the emotional world. It's connected to the mind. And obviously, the vessel is the body. But true spiritual practice is emotional work, emotional freedom. Examining when are you reacting to somebody or a situation, noticing your triggers. If you can, right? Some of us are stuck in constant conflict. We're not even aware that we're with the story that we're bringing, the energy, the emotion that we're bringing to the cashier at the grocery store, the receptionist at the fertility center, whatever, the Uber driver. What energy are you bringing to that experience? That's true spiritual practice when you actually can start examining that. Notice that. How are you feeling when you get into the car, when you stand in line at the grocery store? I love that because there's so many things that we can do when we're standing in line, right? Every chance that we have where we're not busy doing something is an opportunity. My favorite thing to do in line is pray for the people around me, random people. I hope they get what they want. I hope they become extremely successful. I hope they overcome all of their inner and outer obstacles. However that will work out for that person. It's kind of a fun thing to do, random acts of kindness that people don't know about. I've had some experiences praying for strangers, and one person actually turned to me one time and said, "Hey, how are you doing today?" So we are all one, right? We think of that as a metaphor. It's not. It's actually quantum physics, right? We know we are one. We know we are connected. But do we actually feel that and have those experiences every day? I don't know. I mean, I stay in my lane up here in central New York, and so I don't really know what kind of experiences other people are having, if they're able to really acknowledge that. So it's can be hard work or it can be easy, but it's absolutely important to pay attention to your thoughts, right? We now know, thanks to the work of Joe Dispenza, Rob Werrigan, all of these great teachers that are popular now, but it really goes back for thousands of years, beginning with the traditional Chinese medicine, is always looking at the mind and emotions and how it's interconnected with the body, right? So, how are you going to start paying attention to that? That is one thing that meditation allows. Now, that's another word we use all of the time, and yet not that many people actually define it. What does it mean for you? There's lots of different styles of meditation, right? A lot of people like guided relaxation, and that's what they're calling meditation, and it certainly can be for you. The way I was trained in meditation is actually to concentrate, learning to concentrate your mind on one thing. Most of us, I know definitely myself, we're very distracted these days. There's a lot of things to be distracted by, our devices, all of this stuff. And so learning to concentrate on your breath, like really learning to focus on that exhalation and lengthen it out, that's when we begin to change, right? Change happens on its own. In the past, I've put in a lot of effort to making things happen. Give me the goal, I'm going to achieve it. It's easy, it's no big deal. Trying to do things, that's natural. So, shifting out of that mindset into one that's more allowing, that's more receiving. Ultimately, this is what conception is. You are receiving energy, a new life into you, into your life, into your body. And so you have to be very receptive for that energetically, emotionally, and mentally. I really try to help women shift into that experience, that feeling of receiving, and shifting away from micromanaging. Oh, my FSH is this, my LH is that. I'm going to ovulate on this day, my basal body temperature. That's important to some degree, but as important are the energetics of the receiving and feeling and letting go of that which no longer serves you. So it's one of my favorite questions. How do we change, right? Change is happening all of the time. Our mind keeps us stuck in the groove. Our thoughts, repetitive thoughts, keep us stuck. And this is who I am. This is what I like. This is what I don't like, right? That's just the story that you're telling yourself over and over and over. And then that becomes your reality, and it's fairly rigid. And that's not reality. Reality is the quantum field is absolutely influenced by what we're projecting. I always say, if you want to know your future, everyone wants to know their future, right? Examine your present mind, because that's your future, right? You want to know your future? Look at your present. That's what you're co-creating, right? We now know that. There's scientific proof, there's evidence that that's what's happening. So it's pretty exciting. I think change is a practice. It's something that you have to allow to occur. You have to, and this is why they say, if you want to be truly spiritually evolved, you have to be in a relationship with somebody, a close relationship with an intimate partner, because they're the best mirror for you. Because we all think we're doing great according to ourselves, right? According to me, I'm very emotionally stable, but that's according to me. What about according to somebody else who lives with me or next to me? They're the ones that are going to give you some reflection, if you can trust that they're telling you the truth. They love you and care about you. They're not going to project onto you, and you're able to receive that feedback. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do, right? Is let somebody tell you, this is what I see. This is where you're blocked. This is where your weaknesses are, as well as your strengths. So, but this is really how we change. If you can take that information in and say, wow, that really triggers me. And so therefore, I'm going to look at that trigger. Our triggers are where the magic is, right? Our triggers are where we know we have to go. And usually we lean away from the triggers, uncomfortable, don't want to deal with that. But if you can stop, breathe, expand your breath into it and say, okay, wow, I need to lean into this so that I can change. So I can get to the root cause of why this is a trigger and go very deeply into that. It might not be you personally. You may have been born with these impressions. A lot of us doing emotional work now are looking at lineage-based patterns. I do believe that you inherit things that go back for generations. This is what I'm noticing. There's a lot of intergenerational trauma. We see this in groups of people all the time. Collectively, they're all agreeing to co-create an experience. That's a bit of another subject. So anyways, keep going, find the support that you need, learn the kind of meditation that works for you, and lean into the emotional work. There's so many amazing practitioners, people, authors, movie producers that are getting into this important subject, right? And it's just it's an amazing time. I feel personally like I have a whole new life now because of this deeper dive into the emotional work. Okay, so the other thing I really want to address now is it has to do with your supplements, right? So if you've come to see me, thank you. I've seen you on a Tuesday, most likely at CNY Fertility. I ask everybody, where are you from? What have you been diagnosed with? Because that gives me information of where I can focus my studies and my research in order to better serve you, right? And so I've done a deep dive. I'm going to be coming out with more information on endometriosis, which I do believe is autoimmune of the uterus. And it's not the kind of autoimmune that you're used to thinking about. It's a different definition, and I think it's going to help you a lot. And when you treat yourself for this, you're actually preventing miscarriage. You can go to my website and download the guide for anybody that's had pregnancy loss. Download this free guide under resources, jenniferwaters.net. I'll write it in there in a moment. The way I have new information about what, and I agree with it. You know, when something's true for you, you resonate with it. You're leaning towards it, and it makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to share with you what I believe autoimmune really is, and we'll learn to support the body to heal instead of punishing the immune system for doing its job. It's all it's doing is doing its job, and we attack it, and it's saying, well, what do you think I'm supposed to do here? Anyways, a lot of PCOS and a lot of unexplained infertility. And if any of you are working with a naturopath or acupuncturist, ask them for a diagnosis. Okay. We have all gone to school for a long time, and we have been trained to do what's called differential diagnosis. This is one of my triggers now. You come in, you have unexplained infertility, and you've been working with an acupuncturist for 2 years. And then I'll say, so what's your diagnosis? Because I give everybody that I work with in my clinic in Syracuse a diagnosis. You've got liver blood stasis, you've got kidney yang deficiency, you've got small intestine bacterial overgrowth, you've got something, okay? And then you start working on that in your mind, because our thoughts and emotions are affecting our body, our organs, our cells. So if your practitioner is not giving you a diagnosis, find one that will, because it's not what you do once a week that's going to make the most difference. It's what you do every single day, in your thoughts, in your feelings, in your actions. There's so many ways that we can influence our bodies to heal, right? It's not just getting acupuncture once a week or getting a massage once a month. No, that's great. That helps. But it's what you're doing all of the time with your mind. When I was a student, I had a very funny teacher in school, and she diagnosed all of us in the classroom, and she told us all to go out and buy different colored underwear based on our diagnosis. Like, you need more heat in your body, so you wear red underwear, and you need to cool down, so you wear blue underwear, or you need to open up your crown chakra and receive more energy from the divine, so you need purple underwear. And so it sounds really funny, and it is, and it's the one of my funniest stories I have from school. And we all did it. We all went out and bought our different colored underwear. So it's all the time, right? You're healing yourself all of the time. You're talking to your organs, you're talking to your ovaries. I know it sounds crazy, but they're going to respond. And the more you can absolutely be clear about what you are requesting, the easier it is to get your outcomes, whatever it is that you want with you all. I know why you're here. So please, please, please insist that they give you something to work on, to chew on, that you can think about and you start changing. And so then when you go back to them, you're not that same person anymore. You've changed, right? Your body, your thoughts, your emotions, your diet, your exercise, everything else has shifted you, and you're not that same person anymore. So they're going to give you maybe the same diagnosis, maybe not. Some people change quickly. Some people don't. I've seen the same person one time, then they didn't come back for a full year. Their graph, I put people on the AccuGraph, it's pretty cool, was identical. So that means they were stuck emotionally. It doesn't mean they were stuck physically. It means they were stuck in their emotions, not even their mind. It's the heart there. And the heart has a special relationship with the uterus. In Chinese medicine, it has its own, the Bao Mai, it's called, the connection from the heart to the uterus. So the heart, as we know, it stores the most information. It's a highly electrically charged organ. And so releasing our energy, our stored negative emotional patterns out of the heart is absolutely the number one thing that you can do for fertility, especially unexplained infertility. This is where the big changes happen too, is in your heart. So how are you going to do that? Well, the first thing is you notice. And the second thing is you say out loud, I release this anger that's arising in me. I notice I'm frustrated all the time. I feel sad all of the time. Whatever it is, notice, and then let it go. Verbally say, I let this go. I'm going to let go of this negative emotion right now. I'm letting go of the sadness with ease and grace. Keep saying that over and over. It helps. Rage, anger is a little bit different. You really need to get in and move that energy. You don't want stuck anger, because it does affect your liver and how things are functioning and lead to hot flashes and night sweats and PMS and all of this stuff. So you really need to get that out. So I used to tell people to break bricks, smash bricks, or dig dirt if you have that opportunity in your yard. And then somebody said, oh, you can smash ice. Ice cubes is good. So I like that. Have a little area on your patio or something with ice, and get a hammer and smash those ice cubes. It helps. You can do your own rage room at home. You don't need to go to the rage room. Okay, so synthetic vitamins, absolutely killing you, 1000%. This is the truth. We are a commodity we're being sold to, right? You're all getting millions of ads every day. Yes, there are some brands that I like, more than one. You need to understand this, though, that what's happened is that companies are formulating for the label, right? Because we have all been programmed, we've all been trained to believe that we need 500 milligrams of vitamin C or whatever. We need 1,000 micrograms of vitamin D, or IUs of vitamin D, whatever. That's not true, because that is not how the body absorbs nutrients, right? And vitamins, I don't like that word, are nutrients. We are supplementing our body with nutrients that we are not getting in our diet, that we know that we're deficient in based on symptoms and prevention, right? So if you are bruising a lot, or bleeding a lot, right? Whether your gums are bleeding when you're flossing your teeth, and you're bruising a lot because you're doing shots or you bump into the table and you get a big bruise there, you 1000% truth is that you are vitamin C deficient. You need to take vitamin C. Here's the thing though, vitamin C is not ascorbic acid, okay? Vitamins occur in nature as complexes, all right? They are not synthetic isolated nutrients. So ascorbic acid is not vitamin C. So I hear this all the time. Well, I already take 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C and I'm still bruising. Ascorbic acid is poison. It is not helping you. It is making your liver congested. It is not designed to be isolated in a laboratory. It's basically, the way it was explained to me, is sort of, it's an antioxidant and it's the binding aspect of the vitamin C complex. It's the easiest part. It's the most fibrous part for them to extract out of the complex. And then they can mass produce it. And we purchase it. Most of the ascorbic acid we're buying from China and importing it into this country. It's a petroleum. One of the ways that they make it is a petroleum byproduct. And it is not helping you at all. So you're missing out on the absolute benefit of the vitamin C complex, which includes vitamin P, the rutin, the white part of like inside of a lemon or an orange, that white layer is where all of the rutin is, the vitamin P. And so that's what's really going to help your vascular system and to help your gums and to keep your teeth there. And I really wish I had known this a long time ago. A lot of people think, oh, that's in my genetics. I'm just going to get this because that's what everybody else in my family has. No, they all have the same nutritional deficiency that you were born with. And nobody had this information that, oh, if I just supplement with the actual true vitamin C complex, then I'm going to prevent this. And now you're going to change your intergenerational issue. And so that your children aren't going to have this deficiency. Most likely, they're not going to have this at all. So this is how we change, right? We are changing with information, correct information, applying the cure, and bam, suddenly the next generations that go after us their health is vastly improved. Unfortunately, right, what we're seeing is the opposite now. Kids are showing up in the clinic with a lot of nutritional deficiencies. A lot of parents are giving their kids these gummy vitamins. This is not good. Don't waste your money. It's better don't give them anything. Some people say, oh, well, what about placebo? It doesn't matter. You need your cells, your body, your mitochondria, your organs need the proper nutrition to function well. Placebo or not placebo, you can think that these gummy bear vitamins are going to do everything. They're not if you're 12 years old and your bones are brittle and your immune system isn't functioning. You don't even know what to do if you have a fever. Fevers are one of the easiest things to break with calcium lactate. It's the ionizable form of calcium. Absolutely can bring a fever right down. Most people just suppress it though with ibuprofen. It just prolongs the inevitable. And so we can talk about the immune system another time. I just want to finish talking about vitamin C as a complex. You got that. Ascorbic acid is a preservative. We do not need to be preserved like that. If you have a lot of bruising, reach out to me and I will share with you what I like the most. It's kind of like saying, oh, in terms of ascorbic acid, oh, look at this wheel over here. And this is actually a car. And no, it's not. The wheel needs to be on the car to make it run, but it is not the car. So it's the same thing with ascorbic acid. It's part of the vitamin C complex, but we can't even call it vitamin C. So look at what you're taking. If it says ascorbic acid after vitamin C, don't take it, please. And if anything that's saying large amounts, 500 milligram, 1,000 IUs, This means that this company has decided that you're programmed enough that you need to purchase for the label. What are you absorbing based on that? Do you know how many people I see that take loads of vitamin D and they still can't get their levels up? Lots. And that's why they're taking synthetic vitamin D that's made in a laboratory that's not helping them, and they can't absorb it. Thank God. I mean, they shouldn't be. No, we shouldn't be absorbing all of this poison. The body, we are designed to push this stuff out. Yes, I'll give you my website. And I think I've rambled on long enough today. I'm going to say goodbye to Facebook. And my name is Jennifer Waters. That's my website, jenniferwaters.net. I should be easy to find. Email me questions, comments, or concerns. And I am back now. I'm going to be talking about things like endometriosis. Oops, I put .com. I meant .net. And autoimmune and how to enhance your fertility. Bye-bye, everyone. And now, some of the secrets behind the fertility world that you might not know, that I've spent quite a few decades looking at the causation of health. We know what causes ill health, disease, but what actually causes health? So it's an exciting time to be involved with healthcare. Thank you for your interest.